here to talk with everybody, with a small group of the people, and then can reach out our Asian American community. Congressman Price's emphasis on the family health and budget. Sorry.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, budget, yeah. And taxes.
Budget something, he'll explain.
He's a very, very good congressman in the United States and ranked at number 5.
Yeah.
Number 5 in the whole United States. Our future star and the real leadership. This is the reason why I support Congressman Price for the past years, and hope everybody like me to support him. And we welcome Congressman Price.
Thank you. Thank you so very, very much. Thanks, Jimmy and Sonny, for opening up your lovely home once again. Thank you very, very much. Your friendship is so greatly appreciated. We're honored. Betty and I are honored to be hosted here by you and all of these wonderful, wonderful friends. Some old friends, some new friends that we'll meet today, and we really appreciate it. Betty and I have lived in Roswell for nearly 30 years. Betty is, as Jimmy mentioned, is on the Roswell City Council. But we never dreamed we would be politicians. We're both doctors, both physicians. I'm an orthopedic surgeon. Betty is an anesthesiologist. We met 30 years ago at Grady Memorial Hospital when we were doing our residency, both of us doing our residency there. And we moved to Roswell. I opened a solo practice in orthopedic surgery, and Betty came to be the anesthesiologist for the new hospital here in Roswell at that time, North Fulton. It just opened in November of 1983. And we so love this community, and I know that you believe and understand that it's special as well. But at some point during that process, I recognized, as many of you have, that the American government and the state government has changed in a way to make it more prescriptive, more directive of people, less open an opportunity for people, and made it more difficult for me to take care of my patients. And I said, well, that doesn't make any sense. We've got to do something. And so in 2004, ran for the United States House of Representatives with Sonny and Jimmy's help. And we won with Sonny and Jimmy's help. So, and the help of many of you here today, and we thank you very, very much for that. The relations between the United States and Taiwan and the Asian community is long-standing. In fact, Betty reminded me, she was just speaking to her father. Her mother and father live in Florida. And her father led a Chamber of Commerce mission to Taiwan in 1977? Mm-hmm. 1977 as president of the Canadian Chamber of Commerce at that time. And what free people believe and understand and appreciate is that opportunity for individuals unencumbered by governmental oppression results in the greatest amount of dreams realized and success and wealth for more people. And so we are kindred souls, the Asian American community and the United States, because of that firm belief. Now, sadly, I believe, over the last 4 years, we've seen a huge turn from the ability for individuals, for your kids, our son, your grandchildren potentially, to be able to realize their dreams, to be able to do what they want to do, not what the government forces them to do. And so the wonderful news is that we live in and still live in a country where the people are able to decide. And so 17 days from today, America will decide. And I'm hopeful and confident and prayerful that America will decide to have Governor Romney and Congressman Ryan be the leaders of this country for the next 4 years, because I think it will result in a huge opportunity for many individuals who otherwise would not have had that opportunity. Let me just share with you a couple points about some tax reform and health care, and then I'm happy to answer any questions that folks may have. Taxes in this country have been increasing, and because of the decreased vibrancy of the economy, There are some in Washington who believe that we need to increase them even more to get more revenue for the federal government. You know it doesn't work that way. The way it works is that if you get the economy rolling and get the economy moving, then more people will be working, more people will be successful, and then, regardless of the tax rates, more revenue comes to the federal government. And if you lower the tax rates, in fact, you increase the revenue to the federal government by an even greater degree. So we believe that tax rates ought to come down. Not because we think that's just something that ought to occur. We think that tax rates ought to come down so that people can have a greater opportunity to have success in the economy, to realize their dreams. So we believe marginal rates, individual rates for everybody ought to come down. Not just some, but everybody. The president likes to divide people, say, oh, we're going to pick the people that we want to have tax breaks and then punish other people. That's not America. That's not what this country's all about. Rates ought to come down for everybody. Because everybody files in the individual rate, but also because small businesses, many of you file with that individual rate, that marginal rate. And right now, there's no reason to have that go up to 39.6%. If you think about it, if it goes to 39.6%, then it would be higher than any business tax rate in the industrialized world. Any business tax rate in the industrialized world. That, in addition to the corporate tax rate, the business tax rate, that is now the highest of any corporate tax rate, business tax rate in the industrialized world. That's just wrong. That makes it so that every one of you, everyone who's looking at opening a business, starting a business, expanding a business, when they look at that line of their business plan that says taxes, then it says America, it says no. That's not what we wanted to say. We wanted to say yes, right? So that we can get this economy rolling. And then finally, there's something called territorial taxes, and many of you know about this well. Businesses that have their home in the United States, domiciled in the United States, that do business overseas, that are profitable, they are now punished from a tax standpoint to bring that money back home. It's about $3 to $5 trillion sitting overseas, outside the United States. Businesses want to bring it back to be able to pour it back into their business for research and development and expansion of jobs. And right now they're punished, and so they don't bring it back. You can't blame them. In fact, they'd be unwise to do so. So we believe that rate ought to be a territorial tax rate, which again is consistent with the industrialized world. So decreased tax rates for everybody, decreased business tax rates, and a territorial tax system is the kind of tax reform that we will be promoting along with, I hope, President Romney in 2013. And then in healthcare, as a physician, I practiced orthopedic surgery for over 20 years. And the quality of healthcare that we have in this country and the quality of healthcare anywhere is a result of patients and families and doctors making medical decisions, not government and not insurance companies. And that's not what we have right now, and that certainly isn't what the president has proposed. His law will make it so that the federal government makes decisions, not you and your family and your doctor. That's just wrong. That's just wrong. And so what we are fighting for is what I call patient-centered health care, which allows for, provides for, and makes it so that it is the law that patients and families and doctors are the ones making medical decisions. You got to get people covered. You got to solve the insurance challenges, especially portability and pre-existing, and you got to solve the whole issue of lawsuit abuse, all the liability crisis that we have as it relates to health care. But you can do all of that without putting Washington in charge. So that's the solution that we have, and we'll be pushing hard to again make certain that happens shortly after the first of the year. So with that, let me thank Sonny and Jimmy once again, and all of you for your wonderful support. I have one thing. Hold on. How's that look? It looks good in my hand. It looks better on your car. All right? So they're at the front desk there, and as you leave today, if you don't mind, take one or two. You can put it on the back of your car, but then just one person sees it, the person behind you. If you put it on the front of your car, everybody coming the other way sees it. So put it on the front of your car too. And then there are yard signs out there as well. If you're anywhere close, then please put it in your yard. It's important. People like to know because they know you're involved. People like your leaders in your neighborhoods and in your community. They want to know who you support. So 17 days is not a long time to mow around it. So you just plunk it in your yard. If you want to put it in the garden, that's all right. Then you don't have to mow around it. You just leave it there for 17 days. Thank you, thank you, thank you for your support, and I look forward to working with you for a long time. Thank you. And I'm happy to answer a question or two or three or four. Yes?
Sir, since you are an important person in the U.S. government, instead of a question, I would like to make a statement. If you are familiar with the Diaoyu Island span between, well, I should say among Taiwan, China, and Japan. Okay, that one, my comment and request to you is make sure that the U.S. does not send out the wrong message to the Japanese. This transcends over all the governments. This is the feeling, like a commenter like myself, okay? This island has belonged to the Chinese people since time immemorial. Okay, Japanese now, after they invaded China and some other southeastern countries during World War II. This time around, if they go try to get this island, the feeling that I'm getting is this is like the second time raping us. So I hope that the U.S., whatever the candidates of the U.S. presidency is saying, that's fine. Okay, there is nothing wrong with it, but please be aware of the historical problem with it. It has nothing to do with the government. It has nothing to do with greed. It has a lot to do with the feeling of the Chinese people, including like a Chinese American person like myself.
Thank you very, very much. And that's why it's so important to not only have your support, but to develop relationships and friendships so that you're able to share with me that perspective. Because you know it here. You know, I can know it here, you know it here. And when you're able to share that with me, it's very, very helpful. And so I appreciate that very, very much. Thank you. Everybody smells the good food, Sonny. We'll be around. Betty and I will be around. Thank you very much, and we look forward to talking with each of you. Thank you so much. God bless.
Thank you.